Have you ever imagined a motorcycle so bizarre, so monstrous, that it makes you question if it was built to ride or just to scare anyone who dares to look? Today, I'm taking you into a world where motorcycles are not just machines. They're beasts, they're experiments, they're living pieces of madness rolling on two wheels. Stay with me until the end, because I promise you'll see motorcycles that look like nightmares, science fiction creatures, and even rolling pieces of art that defy logic. And I'll tell you right now, the last one on this list is so absurd you want to believe someone actually built it. Let's start from the idea that a motorcycle is supposed to be fast, practical, maybe stylish. But for some people, that's boring. For them, two wheels are a blank canvas where imagination, ego, and pure insanity meet. Some builders take scrap metal, car engines, or even airplane turbines and say, "Why not put this on a bike?" And then they do it. The result? Machines that are as terrifying as they are fascinating. Take, for example, the famous Dodge Tomahawk. Imagine a motorcycle that isn't really a motorcycle but a rolling rocket with four wheels disguised as two. It has a V10 engine borrowed from a Dodge Viper. Yes, a car engine the size of a small apartment block, sitting under you. This monster can reach more than 500 kilometers per hour, at least in theory, because no one is crazy enough to really test that speed on public roads. Looking at it, you don't know if it belongs on a racetrack, a spaceship hangar, or a science fiction movie. And the strangest part? They actually sold a few of these for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that's just the beginning. Let's move to Japan, where custom culture often turns motorcycles into futuristic works of art. There's a machine nicknamed the Decatora bike, covered in neon lights, chrome plates, and exaggerated body kits that make it look like a transformer. When it passes by, it doesn't roar like a bike. It looks like a carnival on wheels. It's the kind of creation that makes you wonder, is this meant to be ridden, or is it a parade float that got lost on the highway? Now picture this, a motorcycle with two engines instead of one. There's a monster built with not one, but two Suzuki Hayabusa engines, welded together just to see if the builder could double the madness. Each Hayabusa engine alone can reach extreme speeds, but together, they create a power that the frame almost can't handle. It's raw, violent, and completely unnecessary. And that's exactly why people can't stop looking at it. Let me tell you a little story. A mechanic in Russia once got tired of regular motorcycles. He had a tank in his backyard. Yes, a military tank. So he decided, why not combine the two? The result was a half-motorcycle, half-tank hybrid with giant caterpillar tracks instead of wheels. It can climb over cars, crush obstacles, and go through mud like it's nothing. Is it practical? Not at all. But is it monstrous? Absolutely. It looks like something straight out of a post-apocalyptic movie, where survivors ride through ruined cities, fighting off zombies. And speaking of apocalypse, let's not forget the rat bikes. These are motorcycles intentionally built to look destroyed, rusty, and monstrous. Their creators strip away anything unnecessary and leave exposed metal, chains, skull decorations, and sometimes even flamethrowers. Yes, actual fire-shooting bikes. They look like they belong to a villain in Mad Max. Imagine riding one of these to work. People would either run away or start filming you instantly. There's also the jet bike. Someone thought it was a good idea to attach an actual jet engine from an airplane onto a motorcycle frame. It doesn't make sense, but it works. The sound is deafening, like standing next to a fighter jet on takeoff. When it moves, the flames shooting from the back can literally burn anything standing too close. You can't ride this on the streets, obviously, but at shows, it attracts huge crowds who just want to feel the ground shake as it fires up. In Germany, there's a motorcycle powered by a giant radial aircraft engine. The engine is bigger than the rider. It looks like the bike swallowed an airplane and kept only the engine as a trophy. When it starts, the entire frame vibrates violently, and people say you can feel the rumble in your chest from meters away. It's the kind of machine that makes you wonder if the creator wanted to ride it, or simply to prove it could exist. Then we have the concept bikes. Some look like animals, others like alien creatures. One particular creation is shaped like a giant scorpion. Its tail arches high above the rider, and its claws extend on each side of the front wheel. It's both terrifying and mesmerizing. Would you ride something that looks like it's about to sting you at any moment? Most people wouldn't. But there it is, real, mechanical, and monstrous. And what about size? Some of the world's largest motorcycles are absurdly huge, taller than trucks. There's one in Australia that measures over 9 meters long, with wheels bigger than a person. It's less of a bike and more of a mobile building. Watching it move feels like watching a giant mechanical beast crawling down the road. It's so heavy that it needs a special system just to stay balanced. Nobody would ride it to the grocery store, but as a piece of record-breaking madness, it's unforgettable. But strangeness doesn't come only from size or power. Sometimes it comes from creativity. In India, a man built a motorcycle entirely out of wood. The frame, the wheels, even the handlebars, everything carved by hand. It looks like a moving sculpture, a piece of art that just happens to run. And when it does, people stop in the streets, not sure if they're watching a bike or an ancient relic brought to life. There's also the sideways motorcycle. Imagine a bike where the rider sits not facing forward, but sideways, like on a bench. The wheels are aligned differently, and the balance is so strange that most people can't even keep it upright. It looks like a practical joke, but it's real, and it rides. Sometimes the strangest creations aren't about breaking speed records, but about breaking the very idea of how a motorcycle should be. And of course, we can't forget about the underwater motorcycle. Yes, someone designed a bike capable of riding beneath the surface. It has sealed components, special tires, and an oxygen system for the rider. Watching it move underwater is surreal, like a shark with handlebars. It's not fast, and it's definitely not practical, but it pushes the limits of imagination further than most people thought possible. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Some monstrous motorcycles are born not from creativity, but from competition. There are drag racing bikes that reach insane speeds in seconds, with extended frames and rocket-like designs. Watching one launch down the strip is like watching controlled chaos. The front wheel barely touches the ground as the rider fights to keep it steady. These machines aren't built to last. They rebuilt to dominate a quarter mile in pure madness. And then there are motorcycles built purely for shock value. Bikes with 3 or 4 wheels, shaped like skulls, coffins, or even dragons. Machines covered in spikes, chains, and decorations that look like they were forged in a heavy metal music video. Some glow in the dark. Others breathe fire. And all of them share one purpose: to make sure nobody ever forgets them. As we go down this rabbit hole of strange motorcycles, you start to realize something important. Each of these creations, no matter how insane, tells a story. A story of human imagination, of obsession, of the desire to stand out. These machines aren't about practicality. They're about passion, about proving that the limits of what's possible are much further than most of us believe. And now, as promised, the strangest of them all. A motorcycle built around an actual car. Instead of using a car engine, the creator literally took a small car, and reshaped it into a two-wheeled monster. It has doors, a roof, headlights, everything you'd expect from a car, except it balances on two gigantic wheels. Watching it roll down the road is like watching reality bend. People laugh, others stare in shock, but everyone remembers it. So, after seeing these 20 monstrous machines, I want to ask you, which one would you dare to ride? The jet bike that spits fire? The tank hybrid ready for the apocalypse? Or maybe the scorpion-shaped nightmare that looks alive? Tell me in the comments, because I'm curious to know which of these strange beasts captured your imagination the most. And if you enjoyed this ride through madness, don't forget to hit like, share this video with your friends, and of course, subscribe for more unbelievable stories from the edge of what humans are capable of building. Because the truth is simple. As long as there are dreamers, madmen, and mechanics with too much free time, the world will never run out of strange, monstrous motorcycles. And that, my friend, is what makes it so exciting.